So we have a case of a 3-year-old below the elbow amputation, and this is the examination. So we would start with the sensory testing. The first one I'm gonna ask you to, I'm gonna touch your hands, and I want you to tell me if you feel the same or different. Okay, so close your eyes.
Same. Different.
Different? In what way?
No, same.
Okay.
Different.
How?
Because it's lighter.
On which side?
This side.
Left side? Okay.
Same. Same. Same.
Okay. So the temperature sensation, I would have some metal object, maybe a spoon, one warmed up, one chilled down, and I would do the same and ask her with closed eyes to tell me if she's feeling hot or cold. The 2-point discrimination, I'm using this little fork in this case. So I want you to keep your head straight, close your eyes, and I want you to tell me if you feel 2 points or 1 point.
2 points. 2 points. 1. 2. 2. 2. 1.
Okay, very good. Next one is the kinesthetic awareness. So we're gonna be bending your elbow and straightening. And I want you to tell me which way it goes. So if I'm bending, I want you to tell me bending. If I'm straightening, I want you to tell me straightening. Okay, close your eyes.
Bending. Straightening. Bending. Straightening.
Okay, now I want you to keep your eyes closed and tell me if your elbow is bent or straight.
Straight.
How about now?
Bent.
How about now?
Bent.
When is it bent more? Right now or right now?
When it's like this.
Like this? Bent more? Okay. Very good. Then I would check the sensation using the monofilament, which I do not have. But again, she would have her eyes closed and I would touch the monofilament against the skin and ask her to tell me when she is feeling it. So that's the sensory testing. For circulation testing, I would check the brachial pulse, which is medial to the distal biceps. And I would also check the edema. I would check if it's pitting or non-pitting edema by pressing down. And I would also check the circumference of the residual limb. Every inch, starting from the elbow down, and recording the measurements. And the length, I would record starting the measurement from some prominent bone, from some bony prominence, either lateral or medial epicondyle or electroanal process, to measure the length of the residual limb. And the other tests would be the range of motion and manual muscle testing, which for below elbow amputation would be elbow flexion and elbow extension, because we're not going to assess the pronation and supination. So this is the first part of the examination video. So the second part is going to be wrapping the residual limb, for which I'm going to use a teddy bear. Okay, you're done. Thank you very much. So here's our below the elbow amputation of the residual limb. In this case, I'm going to use the 2-inch wide ace wrap. This one is self-adhesive. Normally I would not use self-adhesive and just use the regular limb. So I'm gonna anchor it medially just below the elbow crease and cover the end of the residual limb. Come up and cross over and above the elbow. Then I would wrap around one loop above the elbow to anchor it down, and then come down for the second round. So we're creating the pressure gradient distal to proximal, and I would overlap the previous one by half, making sure that there are no folds and that I'm covering all the skin. So another figure 8 going up above the elbow, making one loop above the elbow and coming back down again. So making sure there are no folds, overlapping by half. Coming up above the elbow. And going down on the last wrap to cover the remaining opening. And returning with the figure 8 back up above the elbow. So this is not going to be enough to come down again, so I'm just going to anchor it. In this case, this is self-adhesive, but normally I would use the tape, and I would not use the metal clips for skin protection. So this is the wrapping of the residual limb for the below elbow amputation.